Welcome back to California Cooking. Today, we're celebrating moms, starting with James Beard Award-winning duo Suzanne Goin and Carolyn Styne. Then, I'm making a few dishes perfect for Mother's Day. Well, you can't talk about LA's restaurant scene without talking about chefs Suzanne Goin and Carolyn Styne. They have paved the way for fellow female restaurateurs and are a true inspiration. I met the ladies at their newest restaurant, Caldo Verde, to celebrate their partnership that spans 25 years. Hello, ladies.
Hi.
How are we doing?
Great. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. And I told you this walking in here, it's a vibe. The rest, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And I asked you guys if you came up with the design, but it's a beautiful space. Really.
Yes, Kelly Worcester designed it. We would love to take credit, but Kelly Worcester designed it.
Is part of the fun of having a restaurant coming up with the feel, how it's going to look?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so funny. This was a different experience
Was
because
it?
Kelly was already sort of on board, but she's such a genius, and the room has so much texture, and all the plants and the color, and it's just so layered. And I have to say, I felt very lucky that she took that on for us.
Actually, the food and the menu is really inspired by the building and the design, and which is great because sometimes it's like you have an idea and then you find the space for it,
Sure.
and then other times the space kind of drives you.
That's interesting. So I guess it depends which comes first.
Exactly.
And how you come up with what it's going to look like, and even, I think that's interesting, even the food.
Yes,
Depends
definitely.
on your space.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
For me, for sure.
Yeah.
Like I think it's part of, you want that all to come together, like the mood, the space, the food. You want it to all be interconnected and make sense.
It's a silver anniversary for the two of you. Over 20, right? 25 years together. I mean, that's a special partnership
It's crazy,
to
right?
last 25
Yes,
years.
it's amazing. Running a business for that long, I mean, we've been through like 9/11, we've been through financial crises.
Oh wait, and pandemic,
yes,
and
everything.
That's true.
COVID, and just to have a partner, like somebody that you can work things through with is everything.
It's more fun to do it together.
Oh my
isn't
gosh.
it?
I can't imagine doing it alone.
No, me neither.
We often say that we spend more time together than we do with our
I
husbands.
bet
Yeah.
you do. How do the husbands feel about it? Are they friends?
And my husband came after too, so.
Yeah. I feel so lucky though. We were introduced by mutual friends who just
Yeah.
had a feeling the two of us would get along, and they were completely right. And I think from day one, we've hit it off. We actually have a lot in common in terms of the way we were both raised. We're both from Los Angeles. We're
Both
kind
had
of very
strong moms.
How many all told restaurants have you two
Birth.
had? Birth? Is it like childbirth?
Yes.
in a
Yeah,
way?
totally.
Actually, yes, the pain and the joy all together.
And the forgetting, the part where you forget.
Yes.
Yeah. We could do this again.
right.
And then we're like, what are we doing?
Like, what have we signed
Yes,
up for?
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, Luke,
AOC,
Tavern. And then we had the larders. So we opened the larder at Maple Drive. We had the larder at Burton Way. We had a larder at LAX.
Yes.
We had, and then we have a bakery called Larder Baking Company.
Then we turned Tavern into AOC. Oh, and we do all the food and wine at the Hollywood Bowl.
Oh my gosh. Now that has to be a fun experience.
Yeah.
Super fun. It's
We love
amazing.
it.
Does that mean you get to go to all the shows?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, and then the most recent thing is
Yeah.
the hotel where you're sitting.
Exactly.
So-
This lovely place.
This, yes, which
Caldo
is
Verde.
Caldo
How
Verde.
do you come up with the name of this space?
The space
Yeah.
really inspired the food. So just this, I just felt very old world, Southern Europe. I couldn't quite put my finger on it. And it's also kind of a place where I kind of explore traveling and like foods that I've had from all different places. So we had actually just been on a trip to Portugal.
Yeah.
So Caldo Verde is actually a very simple peasant dish. It's a soup that's linguiça, potato, and kale. I did sort of like, for here, I did when we opened like a more California sort of jazzed up version. So we made it more of a seafood, kind of taking that idea of the seafood that I'd had in Portugal and loved and bringing it together with the Caldo Verde. So we get rock crabs from Santa Barbara, make this really rich broth, and then it has the linguiça and the potato and the kale, but it also has mussels and clams and
So delicious.
It
Yeah.
is
So that
ridiculous.
was like the launching
that's like the launching dish.
point
Yes.
for this.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it comes in this beautiful kind of like cauldron and with a ladle, and it's just like a very great, festive dish to share. It's super comforting. A lot of our food here is really kind of inspired by things that I've had other places or travels. And at that moment when we opened, it was Portugal, but it's kind of developed, always through this sort of California lens and our market, everything from the farmer's market, but can be from different places, which is really fun.
The fact that Mother's Day is, fast approaching, what would be the perfect Mother's Day for you two? If you could have a scenario.
I would get up in the morning,
Okay.
go on a giant hike, come home, maybe go for a swim, hang out in the hot tub. Somebody would make me dinner, and I would, yes, something like that. Reality.
Okay.
It's basically figuring out where of all the restaurants where we're gonna be. But I mean, I'll probably work brunch, and then I'll probably do some version of that. My family is they're pretty great about taking care of me. So
Ideally, it would be it would be sleeping in, having a lovely brunch prepared for me.
Yes.
Where when I walk in the kitchen, all the drawers are shut and the dishes are done. But mine will most likely be in the evening as well.
Right.
Mother's Day brunch is notoriously busy, which is amazing.
And then for moms that come here.
we have a beautiful brunch menu planned and a dessert platter, and it's gonna be great.
And I hear today we're going to try a little something that is inspired by your mom.
Yes. So my mom was sadly passed away in 2018. But my mom was from New England. She was a doctor, so she came out here to continue her studies. She went to San Francisco, and her #1 favorite thing was lobster. So like literally, it was like every birthday was like we would go out for lobster, or we would get lobsters and grill lobsters. Or I made her one year when she came into Luke. Actually, I made her this lobster salad. So it's actually in my cookbook. It's called like Mom's Lobster Salads.
The New England dish in honor of your mom.
California meets New England.
California meets
Yes.
New England, and this salad is lovely.
Yes, I love this season right now when Mother's Day is, because we have peas and sugar snaps and sometimes favas, but we also but then we also have cherry tomatoes just starting to come. Sure. I've just got these pretty little lettuces. This is a green goddess dressing, so it has a little anchovy, watercress, tarragon, parsley, and it's one of those dressings I feel like people just really love. It kind of coats the way a Caesar does, you know? So you have a little bit of that richness.
I'm a creamy dressing lover.
Are you?
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
good.
yeah.
And we usually do it with favas, but actually Tim, who's our chef de cuisine here.
Hello, Tim.
Say hi, Tim. We got some amazing peas from the market, so we just thought.
They're beautiful and huge.
They're cute, yes.
Yes.
So just some pretty lettuces. I'm gonna take all those nicely dressed peas and sugar snaps.
Yep.
Again, California, so we're gonna do a little avocado,
Of course.
a little bit of salt. We're just gonna scatter
Chefs
this.
always season every layer.
We do season
right?
we
That's
do
what
season
makes
everything. And then people wonder why the food tastes better. So same thing, we'll season our tomatoes. I'm just gonna season the tomatoes in here a little bit. Give them a little lemon too. And our lobster, same with my mom, you have to do a lot of lobster. So I'm just dressing these after because I don't want it to get as dressed as the rest of the salad. Because you really want the lobster to taste like lobster. A little bacon.
Oh, nice. And we're done. That was so quick.
Yeah, because we got our mise en place.
Our mise en place. Note to self. This all looks so good and smells so good.
Good.
This is like the loveliest lunch I could imagine. Let's start with the shrimp.
Shrimp. So that is for Mother's Day. So it's prawns and grits. It's remember I told you about that really rich crab broth? So this is a really rich shrimp broth. The grits on the bottom, and then we sear the prawns, and then we do a sofrito and chorizo, and put the prawns back in the pan, and just finish it with a little rapini and parsley. And then the asparagus is from our dinner menu. That has a little green garlic toum on the bottom, which is like a white garlic puree. So we make a chili paste, toss it in that, and then we grill it really quickly. It has a little of this toasted quinoa on top and cilantro flowers. The mushrooms are oyster mushrooms. They're grilled with a little turmeric.
How
And
pretty.
finished with gremolata. And then hanger steak with artichokes, feta, and a little salsa verde.
And then your mom's lovely lobster salad and the green goddess dressing. You taste the tarragon. It's so light.
Perfect Mother's Day salad.
And then my last little bite, I have to try this lovely steak. Oh my gosh.
And get one of those artichokes too.
So good. The steak is so tender. And all of the flavors together. Dessert! Woo! Hello.
This is
What do you-
Irene.
Hi,
She's our
Irene.
pastry
We met
chef.
in the kitchen.
You met in the kitchen, and you met Tim.
Yes, this is beautiful.
So Irene, tell us what you made.
It's a pineapple skillet cake with candied oatmeal streusel and caramel granita. And then that's matcha and strawberry donut for our Mother's Day.
Oh my gosh, these are the cutest things.
Right?
Looks so good.
These are almost too pretty to kind of dig into, but
I bet you can manage.
that I could
Yeah.
try. I'm gonna try the pineapple.
Well, this is the Irene thing where she does. It's got this granita on top of the crumble, on top of the meringue.
Irene.
She's insane.
It's actually surprisingly light.
Yes, and
crumbly.
not that sweet.
Yes.
The granita is cold, like
Yeah.
ice on top. That is. What is going on up in Irene?
I know.
She's a genius.
I almost feel like I should do that.
Yes, you should.
Yes.
Mmm. Again, it is not overly sweet at all, and I love that because you can eat more.
Big burst of matcha and then
And
that
super matcha.
pretty strawberry
Super
against
matcha.
it.
This is so much fun.
It's fun.
Hanging out with the both
Yeah,
of you.
you too.
I'm very inspired by what you do, and happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to
Happy
you.
Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Coming up, recipes that Mom will love. A pasta primavera filled with spring veggies. Plus, it's the perfect thing to serve at your next get-together. It's technically a cheesecake. I'll show you how it's done. That's coming up next. Here is a delicious spring pasta dish, and it's packed with fresh seasonal veggies tossed in a creamy lemony sauce. It is the season of beautiful produce, and I think what are ways, of course, that I can incorporate more veggies into my life, and I always tell you that, but I don't want to eat a salad. I want something that feels like a meal. I want something that feels maybe a little decadent, and it can still be made with veggies. So I'm gonna do like a pasta primavera with a cream sauce. And the way I do my cream sauce is a cheat. I use cream cheese and I melt it. I add some Parmesan, some lemon, and then a ton of veggies. And the great thing about a pasta primavera is whatever veggie you like. I happen to have, I quickly blanched some asparagus and some green beans, just quick, because we're not gonna cook them again. I've got some frozen peas. I'm gonna just let those heat up when I add them to hot pasta. I've got a yellow bell pepper, I've got some fresh corn, some shredded carrots. So most of it doesn't really need to be cooked. The only thing I wanted to do is just blanch the asparagus and the green beans, and everything else will be kind of fresh. With the corn, my little trick is I just cut each side, just like this, where you go right down the side of your corn, and there you got your corn kernels, done. To start our cream sauce, I'm going to thinly cut some shallots. That'll kind of be the base flavoring to kick off our cream sauce, and some garlic. The yellow pepper. So this is kind of the trick everybody does with the pepper. You just take your knife, you roll it, you roll it, you roll it, and voila. And you don't have to deal with the seeds. I'm gonna cut the pepper into kind of smaller pieces. I also want to cut up our green beans and our asparagus. And by putting it in ice water right after the quick blanch, it keeps everything really green. And if you don't do that step, your veggies, they'll be okay, but they'll just turn kind of this grayish color, which isn't as appetizing as the bright green. All right, now we're gonna head back to the stove and make our pasta. Okay, first thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna cook up some rigatoni. Any pasta you like, honestly, but I like this because of the holes and the veggies and the sauce gets stuck in there. Water's boiling, already salted. This is the same pot of water we boiled our beans and our asparagus in, so there's a little bit of a green tinge to the water, but it's totally good. No need to have separate water. And we'll just pour those in. Probably 10 minutes, 13 to 15, okay. Now to a big saute pan. Little bit of olive oil or butter. I'm going to, the one thing I do want to cook are my shallots. A little bit of salt. We're just gonna soften those. This will be the base for our cream sauce. Okay, our onions are soft, and now I'm gonna grate some garlic. I would do 1 or 2 cloves. I'm gonna just take that off the heat and get my cream cheese. So about a block of cream cheese. Bring that back over. And you're just gonna turn the heat down, and you're gonna let it melt. I'm going to take a little bit of the pasta water, add it in, and then all the starch in the pasta water. It helps create a sauce for us. It also deglazes the pan. I'm gonna add some lemon juice. I want a little bit of a tang. And I'm gonna add more cream cheese. I didn't want to add it all because I wanted to give it a second to kind of melt down. So now I've used about 3/4 of the block. I'm gonna add some pepper. The other thing you keep doing with the pasta water, that's why I keep this handy, is you keep adding till you get that consistency you want. Our sauce is done. Now, while we wait for our pasta, let's just put in all of our veg. Get it coated in our sauce. Our peas that are frozen, which will thaw beautifully. Our shredded carrots, handful of those, there you go. So coat everything in the sauce. All right, our rigatoni, look at that, done. Look how much those plumped up. So I'm gonna put them directly into our sauce. I've got the sauce on low, and I just want everything to come together. We have not added our Parmesan cheese yet. I want a good amount of Parmesan in our sauce. So Parm going in, and now just everybody becomes friends. And also this is where you could add more pasta water. It might still need it to make sure everything's nice and luscious. I ended up using the whole block of cream cheese. And we're done. I'm just gonna top it with some fresh basil. Theo, are you scooping it up for me? Thank you. What do you say? You wanna try some pasta primavera? Thank you. Let's put a little more parm. And if I had my other hand, I would zest some more lemon on top and add some basil. What do you think? Thank you for serving me up. Mmm, yummy. I think it's pretty yummy. Thanks, Theo. Coming up, it's a pretty way to jazz up your basic cheese and crackers. I'm gonna show you how to make this really cute cheesecake. That's coming up next. I think this next idea would be perfect for any get-together this summer. It's a cheesecake, but it's not what you're thinking. This, I think, would be the perfect thing, whether it be Mother's Day or any kind of party or get-together. If you're having a baby shower, a wedding shower, a brunch. It is a cheesecake, but not the kind of cheesecake you're thinking that's sweet. This is savory, and it basically involves wheels of brie that you stack on a cake stand, and then you decorate, and it looks like a beautiful cake. But I think this is a really fun, pretty festive way to kind of shake up the cheese board. So first things first, you get different size brie wheels. So right here, I've got 3 different ones, and then eventually it's gonna look like a cute little cake made out of brie cheese. So the first wheel of brie, the larger one, obviously, will go down on our cake stand. And that's it, you stack your brie, and then the fun part begins where we get to decorate, let our creative juices flow. But I always love any kind of get-together I have, or a little bit of cheese and crackers. But I think this kind of takes it to a new level, which I thought was a fun twist to cheese and crackers. There you go, you want that one to be stacked in the middle, and then your baby brie can go on top. Cute, see? It's already looking like a cake, so we're doing good so far. Now, as far as fun things to decorate your cake, it could be any fruit you love. It could be nuts, it could be honey, olives, even the things that you enjoy on a cheese tray. But I'm gonna do fruit just for the colors, and I think it'd be pretty. So I decided to do some different kinds of fruit. I've got grapes, some strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries. I happen to have some tiny little tangerines. These cute little gooseberries, or I guess golden berries they're called, I thought could be fun. And then I always like the idea of an herb, some greens. So I have some sage or rosemary just to kind of tuck in when I'm done. And then I think I'm gonna hit it with a little bit of honey at the end. I mean, this is like playing. So let's start with, let me cut some strawberries. And then you just, you know, there's no wrong move. Just see what fits, right? And you kind of can stack things. Put that one there. And you just kind of play around, see how things look. And you spin it around, see if you like that. Some raspberries, some blueberries. I kind of like the idea of even, I gotta play around. Oh, our little gooseberries. Cut some of these. I like to cut some of the fruit open so you can get different textures, colors. Let me do some more grapes over here. Maybe I'll do a little bit of orange over here. This is really like playing with your food. This could be the tricky part of how you actually get into it, but it's almost too cute to eat, but we're gonna basically cut it just like a cake. So in the back here, I'm just gonna cut a little wedge. I've got a raspberry and a little bit of rosemary. I'm gonna have a little baguette. It's got some honey on there. What a festive way to eat cheese. For all the recipes we featured in today's show, you can follow us on Instagram at KTLA California Cooking. That does it for us. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time. Theo, what do you think of the cheesecake? You like the grapes? Mwah.